2012 July 13th governorship election. We even went further. We led protests to INEC when we discovered that there were irregularities as assumed by the comrade governor.
So you're saying that you're strictly non-partisan?
We are non-partisans. We are non-partisans. We led the December 10th Land Use Act protest in Edo State.
I wanted us to restrict ourselves to this council poll. Let's look at it critically. If you say people are actually complaining, and you say some are actually kicking against the results of this particular poll, people would like to know if there were violence in some parts of these local government in Edo State on election day.
Like in Agenebode, there were shooting. In Igbobazo, the same thing. In Akoko Edo, the same thing. You have a reflection that there is, if you check our net, you will see a man holding a pump action. That was Isako, Edo North. That was an honorable member who is supposed to make law.
And an honorable member of
Edo State House of Assembly.
Presently serving?
Yes. Not only that, a lecturer in Auchi Polytechnic who is supposed to serve as a role model.
Well, I actually have the visual of that. You mean the man holding the gun is serving member of
Edo State House of Assembly.
Why was he apprehended? Why was he going about with a gun?
Because that is a measure of intimidating, to make sure they have their ways.
You know what the law, even if you say there wasn't any strict compliance with the electoral guidelines and regulations,
yes.
But you know, what if at the end of the day they go to court and find out there was substantial compliance? The whole thing will pass.
Let us watch it there now. And another thing is that we know the kind of judicial system we have. But we pray God, because a point to note is that we have gotten to the level, especially in Edo State, that the youths are more conscious and aware that anything short of the yearnings and aspiration of the youths, it will be counterproductive.
Yeah, but it depends on who's speaking, because now the ACN thinks, look, they're crying wolf where there's none.
No, Chamberlain, this issue is not about ACN or PDP or PCP or whatever you call it. It's all about the people.
But the people are the ones who make up those parties.
Who makes up the parties? I mean, the few. The oligarchy few.
Oh, few.
Yes.
So what do you think the next step should be now? Because now they still have other elections which will be conducted on those 2 dates that have been given. And when those results are out, they seem that who knows what will happen.
Yeah. What our stand now is that election be cancelled. A new date set aside. The chairman of Edo State Electoral Commission should resign honorably. The current governor should apologize to Edolite for conducting the worst election in the history of...
Are you in any political party?
I'm not in any political party. I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party. I will always give you my reason. In 2012, during the governorship election, we stood our ground. I led a protest in June 12th with the Niger Delta Volunteer Force led by Mujahid Asare Dokubo.
You were not in Edo Youth Council at that time?
It was a synergy. Edo Youth Congress, not Edo Youth Council. Edo Youth Congress, yes. Okay. It was a synergy. And the aim of that synergy was to ensure that election went free and fair. And you can attest to it. That was a federal election. If a federal government, a PDP-led federal government, can organize an election, there was so much security. I mean, in the process of my observing, I realized that irrespective of political party affiliation, the youth were so friendly. There was no violence. There was no acrimony. Because we believe that what other political parties have not been able to do in Edo State, there is a political party who has been able to at least tell us that there could be a level of development in the state. That the state resources, the taxpayers' money, could actually be judiciously used. But we were so surprised that they say to whom much is given, much is expected. If so much was given to you, Professor Jiga, Tairo Jiga was so fair in all ramification.
So the problem there, sorry Chamberlain, so the problem now has to do with the electoral body in Edo State.
Yes.
and you say...
let me even add. If you have a reflection, or you can get a clip from ITV, where the deputy governor said, you know he's from Orion local government, that his car, his vehicle was used in conveying electoral materials. And
he said that on
ITV. It's on ITV. Quote me.
What?
And that the vehicle was attacked. That those people have dug their early grave. A public servant making this kind of statement. For the first instance, are you supposed to use a political party member's vehicle to convey electoral materials?
Was the electoral body really prepared for this election?
That was what they told us. All the while they said they were even more than prepared.
And what did you see while they told you that?
We were seeing lapses, and we were always telling them. They said we should be rest assured.
What were some of the lapses that you witnessed, that you saw?
Like using party members as card-carrying members of political party as returning officers. Do you even know that there was no in some local government there was no summary sheet, there was no result sheet?
How did you know that those people were card-carrying members of political parties?
It's very obvious. It is very obvious. There is nothing that is hidden with the progress of internet and the world being in a global village.
But I don't know.
We are living as a community. The Nigerian system, the local government system, is a communal one.
So can you say that the Edo Youth Congress has none of its members belonging to any political party? Yes, you can quote. And not sympathetic to anyone?
Anyone.
So what's the option left? The only legal option now is if your needs have got to be met, it's the courts, isn't it?
No, we are not even doing that. As I tell you now, we have purchased over 2,000 mats.
Mats?
Yes.
What for?
That is street protest. It's going to be peaceful. It is high time we begin to get things right.
Don't you think that they will accuse you of being used as a cannon fodder by some political parties to achieve their aim?
They've always said that. Oh. But history will always justify. In as much as we are working based on our article of faith to the people, that will always uphold to the interests of the people.
But are you not going past the jurisdiction of an observer?
As an observer, that is a part. I'm a president of a youth congress, an umbrella body that covers the entire Edo State youths.
Also, this mass and the protest you bought is not as an election observer.
No.
As Edo Youth Council.
Edo Youth Congress.
Oh, Congress.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So
what's the significance? I thought Chimali were going to ask him that. Why the max? You want to sleep on the streets?
Yes. It will be an hunger strike protest to drive home our demands. If we got it right in 2012, what is the problem? That means there is a lacuna. Do you even know that
would you want the federal government to take charge of all elections? If you say
I think it would be better. That is why
they did well with the elections that brought in the governor. Would you want them to also take charge of local government elections across the country?
Yes.
Why would you buy mats for protest if you've got evidence to show that all did not go well? Why don't you just go show them in court?
First of all, what we have done is, 72 hours after the election you are supposed to write, which we have done, and the letter, as I tell you now, has gone to Edo State Electoral Commission office on what we think we saw and how we want everything to go, that there was no election. But if they continue, we know as a youth body, we are not funded by any government.
How do you get your funds?
With individual efforts. So the best thing we can do is to see how we can educate the people to make sure what is right, the right of the Talakawas.
Before you go, tell us the 7th member of the State Assembly that was caught. You know who does he represent? What constituency is he from? And what is the police doing about his arrest?
He's from Esako Central. He's a member of Action Congress in the House of Assembly.
Do you have documented evidence that he was actually seen doing all what you said he was doing?
Suleiman just said he has a picture. Maybe
I'm asking you.
Yeah, we have it.
You have it?
Yes.
So if you have it, why didn't you, with all these documents,
go to the court?
Protest, first. So after protest, what next?
Yes, after protest,